यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jai Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Jai Nitai Gaurango, Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय। श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय। श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 7th canto, 9th chapter, text number 39. Naitan manas tava kathasu vikunthanatha. Naitan manas tava kathasu vikunthanatha. Sampriyate durita dushtam asadhu tivram. Sampriyate durita dushtam asadhu tivram. Kamaturam harsha shoka भयैषणार्तं. कामातुरं हर्षशोक भयैषणार्तं. तस्मिन् कथं तव गतिं विमृशामि दीनः. तस्मिन् कथं तव गतिं विमृशामि दीनः. नैतन्मनस्तव कथासु विकुण्ठनाथ. सम्प्रीयते दुरितदुष्टमसाधु तीव्रम्. कामातुरं हर्षशोकभयैषणार्तम्. तस्मिन् कथं तव गतिं विमृशामि दीनः. तव कथासु विकुण्ठनाथ. सम्प्रीयते दुरितदुष्टमसाधु तीव्रम्. कामातुरं हर्षशोकभयैषणार्तम्. तस्मिन् कथं विमृशामि दीनः. नैतन्मनस्तव कथासु विकुण्ठनाथ. सम्प्रीयते दुरितदुष्टमसाधु तीव्रम्. कामातुरं हर्षशोकभयैषणार्तम्. विमृशामि दीनः. नैतन्मनस्तव कथासु विकुण्ठनाथ. सम्प्रीयते दुरितदुष्टमसाधु तीव्रम्. कामातुरं हर्षशोकभयैषणार्तम्. विमृशामि दीनः. न, certainly not. Etat, this, manaha, mind, tava, your, kathasu, in transcendental topics. Vikunthanatha, O Lord of Vaikuntha, where there is no anxiety. Sampriyate, specified or interested in. Durita, by sinful activities. dushtam, polluted, asadhu, dishonest, tivram, very difficult to control, kam aturam, always full of different desires and lusty propensities, harsha shoka, sometimes by jubilation and sometimes by distress, bhaya, and sometimes by fear, eshana, and by desiring, artam, distressed, tasmin, in that mental status, katham, how, tava, your, gatim, transcendental activities, vimrashami, I shall consider and try to understand, dinaha, who am most fallen and poor. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. My dear Lord of the Vaikuntha planets, where there is no anxiety, my mind is extremely sinful and lusty, being sometimes so-called happy and sometimes so-called distressed. My mind is full of lamentation and fear, and it always seeks more and more money. Thus, it has become most polluted and is never satisfied in topics concerning you. I am therefore most fallen and poor. In such a status of life, how shall I be able to discuss your activities? Please repeat. My dear Lord of the Vaikuntha planets, where there is no anxiety, my mind is extremely sinful and lusty, being sometimes so-called happy and sometimes so-called distressed. My mind is full of lamentation and fear, and it always seeks more and more money. Thus it has become most polluted and is never satisfied in topics concerning you. I am therefore most fallen and poor. In such a status of life, how shall I be able to discuss your activities? Purport. Here Prahlāda Mahārāja represents himself as a common man, although he actually has nothing to do with this material world. Prahlāda is always situated in the Vaikuntha planets of the spiritual world, but on behalf of the fallen souls he asks how. When his mind is always disturbed by material things, he can discuss the transcendental position of the Lord. The mind becomes sinful because we are always engaged in sinful activities. Anything not connected with Krishna consciousness should be understood to be sinful. Indeed, Krishna demands in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja, aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. As soon as one surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna immediately relieves one of the sinful reactions, of sinful activities. Therefore, one who is not surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord should be understood to be sinful, foolish, degraded among men, and bereft of all real knowledge because of atheistic propensities. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya paritagyana asuram bhavamashvitaha. Therefore, especially in this age of Kali, the mind must be cleansed. And this is possible only by the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. In this age, the process of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only method by which to cleanse the sinful mind. When the mind is completely cleansed of all sinful reactions, one can then understand his duty in the human form of life. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant to educate sinful men so that they may become pious simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kalau nastyev, nastyev, nastyev gatiranyatha. To cleanse the heart so that one may become sober and wise in this age of Kali, there is no value to any method other than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prahlāda Mahārāja has confirmed this process in previous verses. Tvad virya gayana mahamrita magna chittaha. Prahlāda further confirms that if one's mind is always absorbed in thought of Krishna, that very qualification will purify one and keep one purified always. To understand the Lord and his activities, one must free his mind from all contamination of the material world, and this one can achieve by simply chanting the Lord's holy name. Thus, one becomes free from all material bondage. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here Srila Prabhupada explains, Prahlāda Mahārāja is representing himself as a common man. So this is a very important qualification. In conditioned state, the living entity thinks that he is great, even though one is insignificant. So even though we are insignificant, we think that we are great. And as we were discussing previously, because I think I am great, I cannot tolerate any insult. And I always want praises for myself. And in such a state of mind, one cannot become a servant of Krishna, because humility is the first qualification. Vidya dadati vinayam. The purpose of all knowledge that we acquire is humility. So how much knowledge do I have? We can understand by how much humility we have been able to acquire in our life. And what is humility? Not being very anxious to get the satisfaction of being honored by others. So here we can understand how Prahlāda Mahārāja is most advanced in knowledge. Because although he is a Mahabhagavata, Supreme Lord has appeared in this world just for the cause of Prahlāda Mahārāja. So a person is so powerful that he has made Supreme Lord appear. But then he is representing, he is thinking, I am a very fallen soul. Harsha Shoka Bhaya Shanartam. My mind is always affected by all these material tribulations. Harsha, Shoka. Sometimes I am in distress, Shoka, sometimes I am happy. Kama, Aturam, my mind is very, very lusty. So thus we should understand how much I am able to think that I am most fallen. And when we are in this situation, then we are the right candidate. So it is this humility which attracts the attention of Krishna. So we should see that I am following the rules and regulations of spiritual life very nicely, but then they may not lead to pride in the heart. Another important thing which has to be understood here is ours is process of Krishna consciousness, as Lord Krishna explains. Asanshayam samagram mam yatha gyasyasi tashrino. Maya sakta mana partha yogam yunjan madashrayah. So there are various types of yoga which lead to various levels of advancement. But that yoga which helps one to understand Krishna completely, which is the perfection of human form of life, that is being explained by Krishna. Krishna is telling, now please hear from me. Maya sakta mana partha yogam yunjan madashrayah. Krishna has explained, by knowing me, you will attain freedom from all the miseries of life, freedom from birth and death. Now, how to understand Krishna perfectly? Krishna explains, Maya sakta manaha. Mind should be completely absorbed in Krishna. When I am completely Krishna conscious, Prabhupada explains, quoting this verse from Bhagavad Gita, then I will be able to understand Krishna. So one should be completely Krishna conscious, always thinking of Krishna within one's heart. Maya sakta manaha. Mind should be asakt, completely attached to Krishna. And then what we are supposed to do? Mind is attached, then I should engage myself in service of Krishna. When mind is completely thinking of Krishna always, then senses will act for Krishna. If mind is not thinking about Krishna, then senses will not act for the satisfaction of Krishna. So, Maya sakta mana partha, attach your mind to me, and then yogam yunjan, engage yourself in yoga. Which kind of yoga? Madashraya, take my shelter, follow my instructions. That is called bhakti yoga. Always thinking of Krishna and engaging in service of Krishna under his directions. This is called bhakti yoga. So in other words, Krishna is telling, if you follow bhakti yoga, you will be able to understand me. Maya sakta manaha. But this is very important. Mind should be attached to Krishna. Always thinking of the form of Krishna within the heart. The Shukdev Goswami also tells this in other place. When he is speaking Bhagavatam, he is offering prayers to Lord Krishna. And then he tells, who is able to understand Lord Krishna? Vadanti he tat kavayo yatha rucham. Different people give different opinions about Krishna. Some people tell that he is very powerful man, a historical person. But he was a powerful man. You also can become Krishna, as powerful as Krishna. Some people tell that he was a magician. Some people tell that he is a fictional character. Some people tell he is incarnation of some devata. Like this, Vadanti hi etat kavayo. And these are the versions of kavaya, very, very learned men. So very learned men also are bewildered in understanding Krishna. Vadanti hi etat kavayo yatharucham. But who can understand you? Janati tattvam bhagwan mahimno. Your tattva, your truth is understood only by a person who is always thinking of your lotus feet within his heart. So when we think of Krishna's lotus feet always within the heart, then it is possible to understand Krishna. Thinking of Krishna within the heart and then yogam yunjan, engaging in service of Krishna. So one should see one's advancement by this, how much I am able to think always of lotus feet of Krishna within the heart. But then this situation is not possible, Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling, if mind is affected by all these qualities. Which qualities? Qualities of material nature. Naitan manastava kathasu vikunthanatha. So I am not able to absorb myself in your form, in your pastimes, tava kathasu. Why? Naitan manah sampriyate. My mind does not take pleasure in that. If I always hear about Krishna, I will be able to think of Krishna. But to hear about Krishna always, one should have taste. People hear about their favorite celebrities or other personalities because they are attached to them. But Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling, Nayatan manha tava kathasu sampriyate. My mind does not derive any pleasure in hearing your katha. So, I happened to visit one of the institutions and met a professor many years ago, of course. So we are trying to approach the professors and we are telling them that you are in such leading positions in society. If you understand this Krishna consciousness, you are guiding the students, then they also will be able to advance very nicely under your guidance. So we would present them a book that you please read this book, try to understand this knowledge. If this appeals to you, you can share it with others. So I approached one such, of course, many people were inclined, they would take also. But some others, like this professor, told, no, I am very busy actually, I cannot read this book. And what she was doing? She was reading newspaper. And news about what? Some Bollywood celebrities. So I have time to read newspaper about some personalities, mundane personalities. That is why I do not have time to hear about Krishna. So time is there. I am having interest in some other activities. I am interested in checking the status on WhatsApp of some people here. I am interested in so many other things, but talks of Krishna don't give me interest. Why? There is a reason for this. That is what Prahlāda Mahārāja is explaining. Durita dushtam, my mind is very, very sinful and dushta. My mind has become very much sinful. Asadhu tivram. Asadhu means dishonest, polluted. Tivram means very difficult to control. Even though I want to focus on Krishna Katha, my mind has become uncontrolled because of being contaminated by sinful activities. So when we indulge in sinful activities, although the results of sinful life are not perceived immediately, yes, you may get later, or in next life, or in future lives. But one result is immediate, mind will become disturbed. So that is why a person who is sinful, he or she can never be happy. Mind will always be disturbed. So we have to understand, if mind is disturbed, that means I am committing sinful activities. That is what Srila Prabhupada told when Prabhupada was not keeping good health. Then a person from, I think, Hyderabad, this Brahmana priest was there. He flew to Vrindavan. And Prabhupada had announced that I am going to give up my body. Prabhupada was not keeping good health. So many troubles were there. So this person immediately flew to Prabhupada. And we know this is a famous pastime. Some of you might be very new. So it's important to understand this Leela of Prabhupada. So when this person flew to Vrindavan, then he told, I want to meet Prabhupada in person. So secretaries told, no, we cannot allow like that. Of course, anybody would like to see Prabhupada. They cannot allow, especially in such situation when he is very, very sick. So they told, I am sorry, but it is not possible. But when he explained that he has taken a flight to go there, we can just imagine what kind of people would take flight in 70s. Only very rich people, businessmen, bureaucrats, they would be able to afford such flights. He had taken flight at that time when traveling in air-conditioned trains was itself a very big deal. So when they got to know he has taken a flight, they understood it is something serious. So they allowed. And then he met Prabhupada. And then he told, because he was expert in deity worship, Pancharatra, he told, Swamiji, I have come here to explain something very important. You see, you have installed your deity here in Vrindavan. And all kind of people, they are coming to temple, they are offering respects, offering flowers to your deity. So in that way, the law is of deity worship, if a person installs his deity, Guru installs his deity, while still having a physical body, he has to suffer the reactions of all those people, all the sinful activities of those people he has to absorb, and thus he has to suffer the reactions. So thus all kinds of people are coming and they are offering flowers to your deity. So that is why this is the cause of your suffering. That is why you are sick. So I request you please remove that deity as long as you are present in your physical form. Once you leave your physical form, then the deity can be installed, it can be worshipped. So Prabhupada told, is there anything else you need to tell? So he thought Prabhupada does not know this, and that is why it is happening. So then he told, no, Swamiji. So he told, I have come here just for that purpose, so that they can be relieved of their sinful reactions, and then with a peaceful mind they can chant Hare Krishna. I have come here just for that purpose, and I will keep on doing that even after I am gone. So then this person realized what is the position of Srila Prabhupada. He has come here just to take the sins on himself, suffer for the suffering living entities here, so that they can become peaceful in their mind and chant Hare Krishna nicely. And Prabhupada told, I will keep on doing that even after I am gone. So this small process of offering flowers to Prabhupada, it is very, very significant activity. So every small thing is very, very significant. So when we offer flowers to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada is making us relieved of the burden of all the sinful activities we are carrying for so many lives. Of course, that should not be our attitude that let me continue doing the sinful activities and offer flowers and get relieved, worship Prabhupada and get relieved from the sins. No. But there's a fact. When we offer the flowers, every day Prabhupada is giving us relief from the sinful actions. So then this person circumambulated Prabhupada and took his permission, offer respects and left the place. So the conclusion, if the mind is affected by the sinful reactions, then the mind will always be disturbed. So thus Prabhupada told, because of sinful activities, the minds are disturbed. Thus we cannot focus on chanting Hare Krishna mantra very nicely. Entire spiritual realization depends on hearing with rapt attention, Prabhupada explains. Hearing with rapt attention, that's it. Nothing else we have to do. Prabhupada tells, if you find spiritual life boring, as sometimes people tell, I am not getting taste, it is because we are not attentive. Prabhupada explains, anybody who is able to hear the spiritual subject matter with rapt attention, for him spiritual life will be ever fresh. And even a neophyte devotee can experience this. Very new person, he has just come to Krishna consciousness. Somehow or the other, if they are able to focus with attention, they will experience ever freshness. But if I find I am not getting taste in any element of Krishna consciousness, that means attention is lacking. Not able to relish deity worship, not able to relish reading, not able to relish hearing, not able to relish kirtan, not able to relish reading, not able to relish prasadam, that means attention is lacking. I am not able to give rapt attention. And we are not able to give rapt attention because Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling, Nayatan manastava kathasu vikunta sampriyate. I do not get pleasure in it because mind is affected by the sinful reactions. Durita dushtam. My mind has become very sinful, very polluted, dushtam, contaminated. So when the mind is contaminated in this way by sinful activities, rapt attention does not happen. So Prabhupada's Prahlāda Mahārāja was able to give rapt attention. So much rapt attention he was giving. He was so much expert in smaranam, thinking of lotus feet of Krishna, his leelas within the heart, that even the material changes were not affecting him. He was put in boiling oil, he was unaffected. He was given poison, unaffected. So to the degree we are able to absorb ourselves in Krishna's pastimes, who is Vaikunthanatha, the Lord of Vaikuntha, we also live in Vaikuntha, a place without any anxiety. This place transforms into Vaikuntha. So we have to absorb ourselves in always the thought of lotus feet of Krishna. So we have to see how much we are getting freedom from this contamination. What is the contamination? Harsha shoka bhayashanartham kamaturam. If we are getting happiness by any achievement in this material world, that means that is also contamination. I should not become happy at all by any achievement in this material world. If any achievement of name, fame, prestige, resources, money, power is making me happy, or people, place is making me happy, giving me jubilation, that means my mind is contaminated. So when I am extremely happy in this material world, I am not able to think of Krishna. I become mad. When I am in extreme distress, again I am not able to think. Shoka, lamentation. So if I am lamenting for any loss in this material world, or I am becoming very happy in this material world, these are signs of durita dushtam, contamination. And tivram, mind becomes difficult to control. It is swinging in happiness or in distress. So sometimes people express, when His Grace Amitasan Prabhu was sharing in one of his lectures, when celebrity was getting married, and she was asked that how much happy you are in the scale of 1 to 10 something. So she told 20 or 100, something like that. Rate yourself in a scale, how much you are happy in 1 to 10. So she is telling, I am 20 or 100. I am breaking the scale of happiness. I am so much happy. So people think if I am so much happy, breaking the scales of happiness, then I am successful. No, sir, this is disease, material disease. If you are becoming so much happy, that means your mind is very much contaminated. And one day you'll fall down to those similar levels of distress. Material world is world of duality. If you are experiencing extreme happiness, be ready for extreme distress. That is the world of duality. Do you see animals in depression? Dog crying somewhere, cutting his wrist. Jumping from a building. No. Why animals don't commit suicide? Because they cannot experience that great, immense happiness. So this material world is world of duality. If you are enjoying great happiness, be ready for great distress. Extramarital relationships gives extreme happiness. That is why slitting the wrist, jumping from building, this happens. This is called the world of duality. So you should be very, very afraid. If I am becoming very happy, very soon, sir, you are going to experience great distress also. So one should learn equanimity, harsha, shoka, then bhaya. Then there will be fear. Oh, this cause of my happiness, material happiness, is because of cause. Spiritual happiness is without any cause. Krishna is everywhere. We need not have any material attainment. In distress, devotee is happy. In happiness, devotee is happy. So here, if something is cause of my happiness, oh, I am getting married, that is why I am happy. So there is fear. My husband may not leave me, or husband may not die. So there is always fear, constant fear in the heart. If any position is making me happy, then again that position may not go away. Then bhaya, always fear is there. And this fear is called nothing but anxiety, what we call it. People tell, why there is so much anxiety in my life? Yes, because of this thing. So always a person is fraught with anxieties or fears in this material world. Fear of not attaining something I want, fear of losing which I have. Harsha shoka bhaya shanartam. So Prabhupada explains, my mind is always full of lamentation and fear, and it always seeks more and more money, and thus it has become most polluted and is never satisfied. Another very important feature is it always seeks eshana, having strong material desires of having more and more money. That is why we are not able to focus on. So Krishna consciousness is very simple. Simply if we take out time, we get up early in the morning with fresh mind, we chant Hare Krishna, follow this morning program, evening program, and discuss about Krishna, very easily we'll be able to get freed from sinful actions. All this durita dushtam will get away from the mind. But why we are not able to do that? Why not able to follow Krishna consciousness? Because I'm very eager to have more and more money. This is the prime symptom of contamination of mind. So nobody is satisfied. So again, yes, money is required, Prabhupada explained. So somebody was giving the logic. As some, this new philosophy has come. Nature cure philosophy. And veganism and all these things. So these people have gone to other extreme of being natural. Yes, we have to be natural. Eat natural food. Don't use chemicals. Don't use artificial means of living. But they tell natural means you just see the nature. Nature is, we are going against the nature. If you observe the nature very nicely, then all the species are drinking the milk of their own mother. Only human being is an exception who drinks milk of other species, of cow, goat, etc. So thus we are going against nature. That is why we are suffering. So that is why stop drinking cow milk. Then you will be healthy and happy. And some people tell, yes, when I stopped drinking cow milk, I became very happy. In Bhagavatam it is told, Krishna is called Go Brahman Hitayacha. Krishna is saving the cows and saving the Brahmanas. Why? Because the cow gives, of course, cow is many, many beneficial in so many ways. But the most important contribution of cow is the magical product Prabhupada calls. It is called milk. Milk is a magical product. Why magical product? Because it builds certain fine tissues in the brain by which we are able to understand spiritual subject matter. What is the difference between animals and us? Why we are able to understand spiritual subject matter? Because we have got different body and different brain. So certain fine tissues have to be built in the brain from which we can understand Krishna consciousness. And for this, milk is very, very important. So thus Prabhupada, this is intelligence of Kali Yuga. You eat meat and avoid milk. So milk is very important to drink. So why people are not able to digest milk and so many other problems? Yes, sometimes some bodies may not genuinely be good, so we should avoid. Then Prabhupada told you can have other variations of milk products. You can have buttermilk, you can have curds if you are not able to digest. But why we are not able to digest? Because we have become so much greedy to eat food. I will stuff myself completely and I'm not hungry over that. I will drink milk also. Then how will it get digested? So we should feel hunger. Body should be hungry enough. And then you drink milk, it will get digested. Without hunger, if you eat anything, it will not be digested. Milk needs proper hunger. But milk is very, very important. So thus these people are telling that you should not drink milk. Similarly, they are telling ideally we shouldn't wear clothes also. Because animals, they don't wear clothes. That is called natural living. So artificially we are wearing clothes. And they give logic. What logic they give? You should understand. You don't believe in God? If God wanted you to have clothes, you should have taken birth with clothes. Do you take birth with clothes? No. You take birth naked. So you should remain naked. You should understand the design of God. So Prabhupada tells, rascal. In this material world, the law is for attaining anything, you have to work. Without working, you don't get anything in this material world. Avidya karma sangyaya tritiya shaktir ishyate. That is the nature of this tritiya shakti, third potency of Krishna, which is called Maya Shakti. If somebody is under influence of Maya Shakti here in this material world, karma sangyaya avidya, one will be in ignorance and one will have to work. Without working, you cannot have anything in this material world. Nai suptasya singasya pravishanti mukhe mraga. If lion thinks, I am very strong, let me open my mouth and sleep, and rabbit will enter my mouth. It is not going to happen. So thus one has to work in this material world and have money. Without money, nobody can live in this material world. But if I think money will make me happy, then that is ignorance. That is not going to happen. So money is not required for happiness, but money is required for maintenance, sustenance. Any more than that, then money will be the cause of distress. So in material world, we have to work. So Prabhupada told, this is God's design. God's design is not that you remain naked, you work hard. Just like in jail, the design is prisoners have to work hard. They have to break the stones, do gardening, carpentry. They will be forced to work hard. So thus in this material world, you are born without resources because you will be forced to work hard. So one has to work hard to maintain oneself. But if one thinks, let me work hard and have a lot of money, I'll be happy, that is illusion. That is not going to happen. So thus, we have to see that we are out of all these things. Harsha shoka bhaya shanartam. I should be out of kamaturam. I should see that. As people ask, how do I see that I am advancing in Krishna consciousness? We can see how much we are able to get freed from these material qualities. How much kamaturam, lust, is reducing in my heart. How much material happiness and distress I am not getting affected by it. And what is this situation called? This is called Shama. Shama means equilibrium of mind. This first Brahminical qualification. Shama dama tapa shaucham shantir arjavam evacha. So unless we become Brahmana, we cannot expect to become a Vaishnava. That is why Prabhupada tells in Nectar of Instruction preface, if you read, in all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control one's mind and senses. In all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control one's mind and senses. Unless one controls one's mind and senses, there is no question of advancement in spiritual life. One cannot make any advancement, Prabhupada writes. One cannot make any advancement if one does not control one's mind and senses. So mind should be perfectly controlled. One should become a Goswami and then a pure devotee of Krishna. So becoming Goswami is very much required. That is the first step. Goswami means mind and senses, Shama and Dama. Mind is under control and the senses are also under control. So sometimes we think our process is transcendental. I don't care about Brahminical qualities. So our process is transcendental, means we don't have to go from gradual process. We don't have to do Shudra's duties in this life, then Vaishya duty if I become Vaishya in next life, then Brahmanical duty gradually, life after life. No. We directly serve Krishna and then we will transcend all these duties which I am supposed to do for gradual improvement. That is why it is called shortcut. But then I have to see that I am developing sattvic qualities first of all. Mind and sense control must come. Brahminical qualities must come in me. Shama, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham. Mind should be always in equilibrium, always peaceful. If mind is not peaceful, one cannot think of Krishna. One cannot hear with rapt attention. Senses should also be always under control. Shama, Dama, Tapaha. I should be austere. Brahmanas take pleasure in taking austerity, in giving themselves discomfort. So sometimes devotee asks, I am not feeling enthusiasm for spiritual life. So Prabhupada tells, you should see that you don't keep yourself in a very comfortable position. If I keep myself in comfortable position, the spirit of preaching will be finished, will be lost. I cannot have enthusiasm to follow Krishna consciousness. Thus tapasya is required. Tapasya means voluntarily accepting a life of discomfort. Even though it is tough to sleep early, get up early, 4 o'clock, I will get up early. It is tough to take cold water bath, I will take cold water bath, even in winters. It is tough to attend sadhana, I will attend sadhana. It is tough to focus on Hare Krishna, I will do it. It is tough to fast on the fasting days, Ekadashi, I will fast. So tapasya is required. So I should willingly take austerity only when it is required. Body is getting very much disturbed. Should I take to material comforts? So one should not seek a very, very comfortable life. Oh, let me have very luxurious bed to sit on, to sleep on. Let me have a very luxurious car, very luxurious house. No. Minimum thing what is required. So we should love a life of austerity. And people have done that. We see our former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, very simple life he was living. So people have led a happy life by following these sattvic qualities. Shama, Dama, Tapaha. So I should not increase the standard of living. I should be satisfied in austere life. I should increase discomfort in my life. Then Shaucham, cleanliness. Everything should be very, very clean. Body should be clean by taking regular bath twice, thrice a day. Inside should be clean by regulating our diet so that proper bowel movement is happening, evacuation is happening. That is called internal cleansing. Internally we should be clean, externally we should be clean. Then subtle body also should be clean by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra always. Cleanliness, Shaucham. So anybody who comes and checks, we should be always spick and span. Everything, our room is clean, table is clean, shelf is clean, clothes are clean, car is clean, office is clean, house is clean. Everything should be very, very clean. That is called Shaucham. Shama, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham. Shantihi. One should be very, very tolerant. Others are cursing, others are praising. I am not at all affected by that. Always very tolerant of all kinds of misbehavior by others. So these kinds of sattvic qualities, forgiveness, it should be developed. So it is very tough. How to have these qualities? Having Shama, equilibrium of mind itself is so tough. So that is why Prabhupada tells, Srila Rupa Goswami has given us many, many books. Lalit Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav, even Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But then for neophyte devotees, in order to come to the platform of Sattvaguna, he has given us these 11 verses called Nectar of Instruction, Updeshamrita. So Srila Prabhupada tells, how do we come to Sattvaguna? We don't follow that regular model, and it is not possible also. Going to Himalayas and practicing severe austerities that people, we cannot even do all those things. How do we come to that platform? By following simple instructions of Rupa Goswami. These 11, not much is required. 11 shlokas have been given to us to come to platform of Sattvaguna, become a Goswami. So Prabhupada tells, by all means, one should try to come to Sattvaguna, and then how to make further progress will automatically be revealed. Sattvaguna means, now I can see, my vision is open. Just like at night, I cannot see when the road is very clear. I cannot see the road. So when we come to Sattvaguna, Sattvaguna means illumination, knowledge.
How to make progress? It is automatically, the path is clear. But unless we come to Sattva Guna, we will not be able to understand what is right, what is wrong, what is supposed to be done, not supposed to be done. Always there is confusion in philosophy. Strong faith does not arise in the heart because of the lower modes, Tamoguna and Rajoguna. So by all means, we should try to come to platform of Sattva Guna. Then how to make further progress will be revealed. And how to come to Sattva Guna? Follow instructions of Rupa Goswami. So what instructions Rupa Goswami is giving? The first instruction is Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jivva Vegam, Udaropastha Vegam. There are various forces of the body. Try to control these forces. Do not try to satisfy these forces. This is what karmis they do. My mind is thinking of this activity, so we should tell the mind, is it really required to do this activity now? If it is not required, it is not urgent, I should chastise the mind. My senses are telling, go and enjoy in this way. Is it really required to enjoy in this way? If not, then I should not satisfy. One should starve the senses, Prabhupada tells. Otherwise, tivram, mind and senses become very tivra, very intense, difficult to control. So one should learn how to starve, how to chastise the mind. If you want to keep anybody under control, chastise. That is why chastising is very good for small children. Grown up, we should not chastise. We should treat them with friendship. But young children, chastise. They'll be very nicely trained. This is psychology mentioned by Chanakya Pandit. They're in the Vedas. They'll be under control. Tadayet bhavo guna. If small children are chastised, they develop various good qualities. Lalayet, if you pamper them, then bhavo dosha. They will develop many bad qualities. Similarly, if you want to control mind, always keep on chastising. I will not fulfill your demand. Mind will put a demand. Okay, check your smartphone now. Is it required? I will not do it. Mind will demand, let me see this thing. This video, is it required now? I will not do it. Always chastise your mind. So this is the first verse. Then second verse, again very important. We are following very nicely. So now we are hearing. Sunday morning we could have slept very nicely. We could have enjoyed so much. But then we are here hearing Bhagavatam. We have got up early. We have done so much tapasya, kirtan, chanting. So we are serious about spiritual life. So it is very good. All these activities, they help to advance in spiritual life. But there are few things which act like bombs in spiritual life. They destroy our progress. You make a nice dam and then you plant a bomb, it will be destroyed. Dynamite. So there are 6 dynamites which destroy our spiritual life. Which are those 6 things? That is also explained by Rupa Goswami. So I am working very hard. I am making a very nice wall. I am building my spiritual palace. And then at the end of the day, I put a bomb and then destroy it. Again, I build and then again I put a bomb. You will never be able to build your spiritual house. So what are these bombs? Vinashyati, which destroy our spiritual life. First thing is atyahar. Atyahar means overeating and over storing, over accumulation. If I eat more than what is required, so that is why Prabhupada told our diet should be very, very simple and meager. This is the principle of advancement in all kinds of yoga, whether karma yoga, hatha yoga, jnana yoga or bhakti yoga. Any kind of yoga you are following, controlling the senses, controlling your diet, it is very much required. So thus Prabhupada told your diet should be very, very simple, very, very meager. As simple as possible, then we'll be actually happy, we'll be able to relish. If I keep my food very simple, I'll be able to relish food. If I want to enjoy myself without any restriction, I will not be able to relish the taste also. I'll come in depression. So many diseases also will develop in the body. So the more we are restricted, simple in our food, we'll be able to relish the food. We'll be able to eat for a long time. It is told a person who eats more, he eats for a short time. One who eats less, he eats for a long time. Ayurvedic principle. So overeating should not be there. Only when we are very, very hungry, we should eat. And that also 50% of my hunger should be with solid food. Stomach should be filled with solid. 25% with water or liquids. 25% should be empty. Not eat anything which is not offered to Krishna. So overeating is very, very bad. Whether of unoffered food, there is no question of taking. Even prasadam, if we do overeating, then we cannot make spiritual advancement. So overeating is very, very dangerous for spiritual life. And similarly, atyahar means over accumulation also. I'm accumulating more money. This is also very, very dangerous. So thus money is just required for maintenance. More than that, if we have in our life, then it will increase the lust in the heart. Greed will increase in the heart. So thus one should be very, very careful. One should not accumulate money. Just maintaining ourselves. And how much money is required for maintenance? Which are the people who earn minimum money in society? Minimum wages? Daily wage workers? The people who are paid on daily basis. You work on that day, you'll get money. But in Kali Yuga, unfortunately, daily wage worker has to work hard. Unfortunately, now everyone is working very hard because of this. So one of the devotees, he was very new in Krishna consciousness, was following just few things, little chanting here and there, got a very good job. And good job means very good company, Microsoft, from one of the best colleges of the country. Then got into Microsoft, one of the best companies. And then situation was so bad after joining the company. He writes on his social media status. People write, no, what do I do? He is writing, I am a daily wage worker at Microsoft. So yes. So daily wage workers, they work, they earn the minimum thing, minimum salary. So do we see any daily wage worker dying out of starvation? Or the people who earn very less, the guards and other people, or the street cleaner. Do we see someday street cleaner is dead, fallen on the street? Or the sabji vendor, he died suddenly or she died? Or the guard, he suddenly died because he could not maintain himself? No. So even in such meager jobs, it is very easy to maintain oneself. So thus maintaining oneself is very simple, very easy. So thus money is required just for one's maintenance. And for maintenance, these people also are able to maintain, who are having the minimum thing, minimum salary. But yes, it is not a sin, again, to earn more. We can earn as much as possible. Rather, Prabhupada told his disciples, try to find the best monetary means for yourself. Earning is not bad, but provided if you offer it to Krishna. If you offer to Krishna, then it is very nice. It is told in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this money, if you spend for Krishna, then Prabhupada writes here very nicely. So Prabhupada was giving lecture when he came to one of the richest, even now they are very rich, the Birlas. In their house, Prabhupada was giving a lecture. So Prabhupada is explaining, everyone should worship Krishna according to his position. That is wanted. Kurushva tad madarpanam. Yat karoshi, yat juhoshi, yad ashnashi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya. Kurushva tad madarpanam. To become very big businessman is not ordinary thing. It requires tapasya. Very great labor. Becoming big businessman also requires tapasya, labor, brain, yat tapasyasi. But the result, Krishna says, Kurushva tad madarpanam. He is asking, give it to me. So there is no harm to become very big businessman, earning money. That is all right. But you give it to Krishna. Then in any position you can remain Krishna conscious. So Prabhupada is telling here how to remain Krishna conscious in any position. People ask that, Prabhu, I understand. Mai astakta mana partha yogam yunjan madashaya. I have to always think of Krishna. But then when I go to office, when I go to my college, other places, I am not able to think of Krishna. When I do my business, I am not able to think of Krishna. How to do it? We want to tell, but sometimes we cannot tell because people misunderstand. So one devotee asked, Prabhu, how do I think of Krishna? When I do worship, I am able to think of him. While working, what do? I told, give your salary to Krishna. Then for some weeks he did not talk to me. Then his brother, he is a devotee, so he told Prabhu he had some misunderstanding. He thinks that Prabhus are very greedy, they want money. So then I told, what did you explain to him? So I told, has Prabhu told you give money to me only? No, he's telling give anywhere, use in service of Krishna. So no problem, you have a nice bhandara, you cook very nice prasadam, distribute. All your money you use for prasadam distribution. Publish books and distribute on your own. Make a nice temple of Krishna, no problem. You on your own you serve, we don't want your money. Krishna is maintaining us. Krishna gives whatever. Prabhupada is ordinary man for his publicity. He spends so much of money. Will Krishna not spend money for his publicity? No, so Krishna will give. You simply publicize Krishna. Krishna will give unlimited money. So we are not dependent on you for your money, but for your benefit we are suggesting. Yes, if you doubt us, you can spend on your own. But you spend your money for Krishna, this is required. But people may misunderstand, so we are not able to tell, but this is fact. Are we spending our money for Krishna? If we are not spending, then it is not possible. Harsha shoka bhaya shanartham. Then this money will create so much trouble. So money accumulation is very, very dangerous. So one disciple wrote to Prabhupada, one person, I think he was not disciple, may or may not be, that I am accumulating money so that in future I will make a nice temple for Krishna. So Prabhupada told, you're thinking that I am accumulating money and so that one day I can make nice temple for Krishna. That is all right. But my Guru Maharaj would say, trust no future, however sweet. So in future, suppose this money gets away from you, then what will happen to you? Money is also lost. You could not advance in Krishna consciousness also. So thus, Prabhupada, what to speak of budding devotees, neophyte devotees, even temple devotees, they also propose this thing. Prabhupada told, never store money, never accumulate money. As soon as money comes, print books. You spend for Krishna, make temples, never accumulate money. Otherwise, even for full-time devotees, Prabhupada told, money will be the cause of material misery, hankering, distress, material poverty, disease, and so many other distresses. Accumulated money is the cause of all problems. Accumulated money is called, money is Lakshmi. So it is Ravan. Why Ravan, even though being very powerful devotee of Shiva, what led to his destruction? Because he accumulated Lakshmi Sita for his enjoyment. So accumulated money brings all sorts of troubles. One is not able to become Krishna conscious. So thus Prabhupada told, even to full-time devotees, spend immediately, never store money. So thus it is not a right policy that in future I'll accumulate money, future I'll use for Krishna. In future money will go away, disease will take away, robbery will take away, or government will take our money if you accumulate it. So thus never store money. On the other hand, Prabhupada is giving here, pure devotee of Krishna who knows perfection of Krishna consciousness, he is explaining. Then in any position you can remain Krishna conscious. That is all right, but you give it to Krishna, become big businessman, but you give the money. Then in any position Prabhupada is writing, you can remain Krishna conscious. Then you are not a karmi, you are sannyasi, Prabhupada tells. This is called sannyas. Anashrita karma karam, karma phalam, karyam karma karotiha. One who is not working so that he can enjoy the karma phal, but karma phal should be offered to Krishna. Sa sannyasi. He is a sannyasi, not a person who does no work. So sannyasi means not doing any work. Sannyasi means doing the work, anashrita karma phalam, offering the phal, results to Krishna. This is called real sannyas. So thus Prabhupada tells, then in any position you can remain Krishna conscious. And what will happen if you remain Krishna conscious? And if you remain Krishna conscious, then you will understand Krishna. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Maya sakta mana partha yogam yunjan madashaya. Samagram mam yatha gyasyasi. You will understand me in completion. If I am always able to think of lotus feet of Krishna, then I will be able to understand Krishna. Everything will be clear. And if I understand Krishna very nicely, I become convinced, then our fate transforms into ecstasy. We are always in bliss of Krishna consciousness. So thus I request, please read Nectar of Instruction very nicely. Follow these basic instructions. Please do not remain attached to your money. It is not our money actually. It belongs to Krishna only. So don't eat more. Don't accumulate more money. Atyahar. And if we accumulate more, then what will it lead to? Next step, that is called prayas. Prayas means working very hard for mundane achievements. If I am attached to money, then I have to work hard to get money. That is called prayas. Working very hard for mundane achievements. That is also not good. Prajalpa, niyamagraha. Mundane gossips, mundane talks, not related to Krishna consciousness. So it is not ordinary thing. So simply we are browsing some news, checking here and there. This is prajalpa. Even talking about other devotees, that is also prajalpa, Prabhupada told. Not, devotional service, we should talk about activities of this devotee did this thing, other devotee did that. No, Prabhupada told prajalpa. This prajalpa is so dangerous, as we have discussed previously. Madhavendra Puri was always roaming alone, was not having any company because he feared this prajalpa. As soon as there is company, two people meet, they start talking mundane topics. So Madhavendra Puri was so cautious that he would not keep anybody. He would just roam alone. So this prajalpa is so dangerous. And Prabhupada told, I am afraid that our society may not become a society of croaking frogs. Frogs, when they assemble, they croak. So similarly, Prabhupada told, we are afraid our society may not become assembly of croaking frogs, croaking toads. Otherwise, this prajalpa will destroy the movement. These things are so dangerous. Mundane talks, gossips, they have the capacity of destroying the movement also. And as we discussed, same thing applies in our personal life. It destroys our spiritual life. Mundane gossips, mundane talks. So sometimes devotees don't realize, what is the harm in watching a movie? I am doing this thing. Oh, it is prajalpa. Unnecessary. If it is very much required for your job, you do it. Otherwise, so much mundane news, mundane movies, mundane dramas, this thing, if I do indulge, Gramya Katha na karibe. When Raghunath Das Goswami, most exalted sannyasi, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please explain me, what do I do in spiritual life? So he told, Sanud Damodar Goswami will guide you, but since you have asked, I will explain you. Gramya Katha na karibe is first instruction. Do not discuss Gramya Katha. Do not do gossip. So devotee should be very, very careful. We are not indulging in so-called media entertainment and so many world news which are happening around us. It is capable of destroying our bhakti. It makes the material world appear as if it is real, Prabhupada told. This politics, that politics, this affair. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Grame Kathana Karibe, do not indulge in mundane gossip. So Prajalpa Niyamagraha, following the rules and regulations just for the sake of following it, without seeing the result, this also destroys our bhakti, or not following the rules. So if we are neglecting the instructions of Rupa Goswami, who will follow Atyahar, Prayas, Prajalpa? This is a bomb that will destroy our bhakti. Or if I am following the rules and regulations nicely without seeing I am getting the result or not. For so many years I am chanting as people tell, Hare Krishna, I am following this thing, but my mind remains disturbed. This is also Niyamagraha. I am following the rules and regulations, but I am not making advancement. This will also destroy bhakti. Bhakti vinashyati. The student is going to school but not learning anything. Then there is some serious mistake. What he or she is doing in school. So if I am following rules and regulations very nicely, harsha shoka bhaya shanartham, it should come down. I should not be affected by harsha shoka, anxiety. Lust should decrease in the heart. Greed should reduce in the heart. So I should see the result. Attachment to Krishna should increase. Krishna consciousness should improve. Otherwise, if I am very strictly following rules and regulations, not seeing the result, this is also impediment. Jan Sangaha, and last most dangerous thing is association. And the mundane people are also able to realize this fact. So yesterday I stumbled upon this thing. So I thought it is wise to share. There is a very famous person who tells people how to become very rich in no time. Motivational speaker. And then he's telling, people ask, how many seminars should I do? Which seminar should I do? What should I do exactly to become rich? So he told, actually all these things are not going to work. Which book should I read? What should I do? How much time will it take? He told the secret of anything is association. They also have realized power of association. And as some other people also tell, you are the average of 5 people around you associate with. And that is a fact. Whatever thoughts we have, cultures we have, habits we have, that is the association of people we have around us. Very simple. So simply you change your association. If you want to become very rich, start living with people who are earning a lot, who have that mindset, who are very rich. If you want to become very lazy, live with people who are lazy. You want to become learned scholar, live with people who are learned. Similarly, if you want to become devotee, live with, very simple. We are the average of 5 people around us. So if we are not associating with devotees, we are associating with non-devotees, and we will remain like that. So unless we understand these things, karmis have realized. So then he is telling, how will I make you rich? I will give you a system in which you are always, ecosystem in which you are always surrounded by rich people. So this ecosystem Prabhupada has given us all these centers so that we can live with the devotees, associate with devotees. It is very simple. If we associate with devotees, automatically we will become advanced devotee. And if we do not associate, then we will be average of the people who are materialists. We will also become materialist. So Jana Sangam, association of non-devotees, is very dangerous. So dangerous that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not willing to touch Prataparudra. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell while doing kirtan in ecstasy, Prataparudra Maharaj held him. He started cursing. To which hell I will go? This materialist has touched my body. So even touching a rich person is so contamination. Such great contamination, it is told. So if a person is simply rich, without offering the riches to Krishna, that is great material contamination. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, one should not see the face. He was not able to meet Raja Prataparudra. And he has touched me, just see what is my destiny now, Mahaprabhu told. So thus one should be very, very cautious of avoiding these 6 things. Atyahar prayashascha prajalpo niyamagra janasangascha lolyamcha. And the most important thing is money. It is a very plain fact. The thing which is making us work very hard, that we are able to not sleep early, we are feeling sleepy in the morning time, not able to chant nicely, it is this lust for money. So thus I request, please try to offer money to Krishna. Start in small installments and then offer as much as possible. Then we'll be happy, we'll be in bliss. Oh, I am earning only 10 rupees. Prabhupada tells, if you are earning 10 rupees, offer 5 rupees to Krishna. This is the principle. It does not matter how much more or less you are earning. Minimum half of it should go to Krishna. An example is of Kholavecha Sridhar, who is having such a terrible life that his roof was having many holes. He was so poor. He was selling cups made of banana leaves. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna would test him. He would steal away his banana leaves without giving any money. Anyway, he is poor. And Mahaprabhu is taking without any payment. But he was very fond of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So once he told, ask me a boon. He told, please let me engage in your service. So he told, no, let me have a nice home for you. Your roof is having many holes. So he told, no, what is the harm in this? Actually, I see it as a luxury. The birds are having no roof. At least I am having a roof, although with holes. They are living without any roof. So why I cannot live like that? And thus he was in extreme bliss, it is told. So these great devotees have become poor. They are not poor. They take incarnation along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to explain to us where is real pleasure. You can remain in spiritual pleasure, unlimited bliss, staying in a house which is having many, many roofs. And we'll be in distress by having a very good house also. So thus, please do not think by saving money we'll be happy. Let me save money, I will have nice clothes, nice house, my children will study in good schools, or I will have nice protection for future, disease can happen, all these calculations mind will put. Please remain dependent on Krishna. Prabhupada tells, this is called Krishna consciousness. When a disciple requested some money, younger devotee, for translation work, so Prabhupada told, in principle, I have no problem in giving you money for your work, but I am worried about the principle. I am worried about your Krishna consciousness. The principle of Krishna consciousness is that we never ask any favor from Krishna. Rather, we want to offer everything to Krishna. So if we work for Krishna, we know Krishna is a person, will he not keep his devotees satisfied? Krishna keeps his devotees very, very satisfied. When he sees devotees offering everything to me, will he not keep his devotees satisfied? This is called Krishna consciousness. So thus I am worried that you are lacking Krishna consciousness. You are thinking Krishna cannot maintain you, so you want money for your service to Krishna. So this principle we have to understand. If I am offering everything to Krishna, will not Krishna take very good or best care of ourselves? So thus it is very simple. We have to become Krishna conscious completely in order to understand Krishna. And Prabhupada tells, in any situation, we can remain Krishna conscious if you do this thing. You work very nicely and offer the results to Krishna. So thus, if there is any, please do not think that we are greedy, we want money. We do not want any money. Somehow Krishna always, he keeps us, we are not filthy rich, but we are able to maintain. Whatever money is required for preaching, Krishna always sends it to us. But if you give it to Krishna, somehow still if we doubt, we are not telling you give it to us. You use your money, but please use your money for Krishna. Lead a very simple life. Do not spend more than 25% of your wealth for your maintenance. You have to go to slum, go and live in slum. It does not matter. But please try to maintain yourself with 25% of income, of salary. And 25%, yes, Krishna is not impractical. There might be some emergencies. Keep 25% for emergencies. But never borrow for emergency. Even if death is coming, don't borrow so much money for your treatment. Die. What is death? Death is change of body. When Krishna is saying that we have died dependent on Krishna, Krishna will give us better bodies in next life, or spiritual body if we are completely surrendered. So don't become unnecessary anxious to maintain the body. 25% for regular maintenance, 25% for emergency, and 50% please try to use for Krishna, and then you see how much clarity will come. We will be always Krishna conscious in any circumstance. So any questions? Yeah. Yes, so question is, we discussed in extreme happiness or distress, we are not able to think of Krishna. But Kunti Maharani is asking distress. So how do we understand this? Yes. So if a devotee is in distress, he will be able to think of Krishna. Otherwise, if a non-devotee is in distress, he will become atheist. Prabhupada gives example of ladies in World War in Germany and other countries because they lost it. So then they were going to church very regularly, and then they told, let our husbands and children, brothers come back. But who comes back from World War? They died and they became atheists. So if you are non-devotee, we will complain in distress and we'll lose Krishna consciousness. But devotee will become. So for devotee, distress is good. Otherwise, we'll lose it. Yes. Not advanced devotees, yes. Very neophyte. So they lose it. Yeah. Yes. So the question is, we discussed, if I experience very high happiness, then that will give me equivalent distress also. So how do we understand happiness in the mode of goodness? So happiness in the mode of goodness is not this high happiness of sense enjoyment. Here that sense enjoyment gives us this so-called happiness. Happiness of Sattva Guna is not experiencing sense gratification. Tapasya, devotee is always in a state of equilibrium, and this gives him happiness. So happiness in Sattva Guna is not happiness actually. That is absence of material happiness and distress. Milk items? Yes. Yes. So milk items, Prabhupada tells, they build fine tissues in the brain so that we can understand Krishna, the spiritual subject matter. If one cannot take milk directly, then one can take other forms of milk like buttermilk and curds, which can suit one's own body. So thus one should not fall for these natural so-called logics. Otherwise we have to become like animal and roam without clothes also. So human being is supposed to work hard to maintain oneself. Any online? Do we have any questions? Yeah. So what is the meaning of equilibrium of mind? One should not have any feeling. Yes, equilibrium of mind means materially one should not have any feeling. Material feelings are illusion. Just like if somebody is having great feelings in a cinema hall, so that means a person is, there Superman jumped from building, here he jumped from balcony. Or somebody has died, so here also he is getting heart attack. So if somebody is expressing or crying at least, so somebody is expressing emotions or feelings in a cinema hall, that person is called not very wise, crazy. Similarly, this material world is nothing but, that is explained in first verse of Bhagavatam. Tejo vari mradam yatha vinimayo yatriti sargu amrisha dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhukam satyam param dhimai. This world made of earth, water and fire creates such illusion of reality that even devatas are also bewildered and they think it is reality. It is not reality, isn't it? Simply matter is reconfiguring itself. So that idli sambar or rice dal will take the form of man or woman. And it will get transformed into stool after some time. So the same matter is stool, the same matter is idli sambar. That matter is called man or woman are relative. So we are actually getting attached to idli sambar or stool. If you are getting attached to anything, any matter, so-called this exterior covering. So that is why materially, yes, one should be without any feelings. But this stage is very, very difficult to attain. But this is possible, Prabhupada tells. Prabhupada gives the example of Vasudev. Vasudev promised to Kansa, I'll bring all my children to you. And when children they took birth, he brought all of them to Kansa. And he knows Kansa is going to brutally kill them. But Vasudev, not at all disturbed. Prabhupada tells this is called Shuddha Sattva Guna. Person is completely undisturbed. So this situation is not easy, but one must come to that platform. That materially one should not have any feelings. But one will have spiritual. So does it mean I will not love my family members if I become Krishna conscious tomorrow? Prabhupada tells no. Your real love will begin for your family, for your animals, for your nation, for the world, when you actually become Krishna conscious. Now actually we do not love, there is lust. Even in the most intimate of the relationships, there is business mentality. If the most intimate relationship is husband-wife, so husband-wife also there is separation. If he or she does not satisfy me, I will not satisfy him or her. There is separation. So thus, even the closest relationship in material world is nothing but business. So actually, there is no question of love. Love means just satisfying the other person, despite one's wrong behavior. So this is possible only in Krishna consciousness. So when we are Krishna conscious, we understand all the living entities are part and parcels of Krishna. So thus we love everyone despite their good or bad behavior. So when we become Krishna conscious, we actually start loving our family, our nation, our society, animals, trees, all the living entities. That is why a devotee is always in bliss. Now our bliss is limited. Only the girl or boy I see, I love, I am attached, so-called love, I become happy. But devotee always is happy because he loves everyone, all the living entities. Everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. So the devotee is always blissful. So thus materially, one should be feeling less. But it does not mean a person will be without heart. One will have spiritual feelings. One will always experience tremendous love in his heart for everyone and anyone because he loves Krishna. So we will end. More questions we can take next time. One small announcement is there, as one Mataji kindly corrected. We discussed Payovrat fasting. A set of rituals are there for pleasing Krishna in the previous verse. So this Payovrat verse I explained was followed by Diti. So that was a mistake. It is not by Diti, but it was followed by Aditi, sister of Diti. So I just wanted to clarify. So thank you so much for hearing. Please chant always and follow. Please read Nectar of Instruction very, very nicely and try to implement in one's life. Then we'll come to Sattva Guna and eventually become a devotee. Grantara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki